Hello there, welcome to Prime Sports with me, Razak. Let's start off with the World Athletics Championship, and Ghanaian sprinter Joseph Paul Lamwa ran in heat 6 of the men's 200 meters at the Budapest World Athletics Championship, where he will face American sensation Arion Knighton and Tokyo Olympic Games gold medalist and Canadian champion Andre DeGrasse on Wednesday, August 23. Well, ahead of that very race, team coach of Team Ghana, Elom Amenakpo, has been speaking about the team's objectives.
The camp is what we've been asking for a very long time, and this time around we're able to spend at least I think 8 days in France, and then we are back here in Hungary doing the same thing that we are doing. So looking at the training and everything, I think we are ready to hit it. Qualification is the toughest in this tournament. To advance from the round 1 to round 2 is the most difficult, and then looking at his heat, the seasonal best of the athletes that he's going to run with, I think he stands a chance of qualifying. It's just about him executing what we are talking about, our race plan and everything. So I think he has a chance of advancing to the next stage.
Darcy, his race, his heat seems, for want of a better word, maybe relatively manageable. He has the fastest time in there, but he has a strap on his hamstring. Talk to me too about his physical situation.
Hamstring is something that comes and go, and it got to do with your mental toughness too. When you are returning from injury, you are very conscious about it, like it can come again and all those things. So he needs to, get it out of his mind going into the race tomorrow. If he thinks about it too much, it's definitely going to affect him. But hey, that's Jim Darcy. He's a tough guy, and his running is late night. When you're running in the night, you have a lot of work to do, meaning you really need to run a very fast curve, and he has to get the hamstring injury out of his mind, like if he has to qualify to the next stage.
Also, when it comes to the sprinters, apart from the relay team, with Joe Paul and James Darcy, what have you been working on specifically in this? Is it the speed, is it technique, or what have you been working on the most?
We have some few days to train. Adaptation wise, you can't say that we can use the 10 days that we spend to work on somebody's speed. It's about their preparation that they have with their various coaches before coming here. My duty here is to just maintain it and then to polish it so that they don't lose that form that they have from the previous year.
Well, meanwhile, Joy Sports correspondent at the championship, Tahir Fentio, has been providing some further details about the team's preparation ahead of the race tomorrow.
So they've been training quite well. Team after the Barakwa got, missed out on a chance to qualify for the women's long jump final. Team Ghana, since Saturday, they've not competed. In fact, their first competition is on Wednesday, that's tomorrow, when 2 of our athletes will take into the tracks to compete in the 200 meters heat. Okay. And, James Darcy, of course, I saw him. He's training really well, but he does have a bit of a plaster on his hamstring, so he's not looking very good. Remember, he got injured after he ran the national record back at the end of April. I think he ran that race on April 30. So he still hasn't fully recovered from that. Yeah, so in the shot, you see that's Elom in the Ghana shirt, with Joseph Paul Lamwa, who will also be running in the 200-meter heats tomorrow. And the relay team are the ones in your shot at the moment, obviously, also training because they relays the heats. For that is on Thursday, and so some of these guys would also be involved. So that's Edwin Gadai, Raymond French, and Isaac Bosio in your short. The 2 200-meter runners, Joseph Polamo and James Darcy, and that's James Darcy. You see the plaster on his left hamstring there, and he's not looking very good. However, the good news for him is that his heat looks really good. Look at the numbers in there and what have you. But Muftau, in fact, after the conversation, you also see that the Ghana team are wearing all kinds of, everybody's wearing their own thing. I have also been told that an airline has lost their training kit. So it's a really bizarre situation because Team Ghana is not the only one to have lost. Kid, yesterday I met the president of the Athletics Federation of Zimbabwe, and he was running across. And I asked him, "Why are you in such a hurry, Muftar? This man, he's so big." But he was running and he was holding a bag. And I asked him, "What's in the bag?" He said, "They are spikes." So what are they for? He's going to give them to one of his athletes to use to run a race, not just training. It was race day, and he was still chasing spikes because an airline lost their spikes on the way.
Wow.
The airline lost my bag as well, so it's not.
Yeah, so I was actually going to mention that you've also lost your bag.
Yeah. So that's the problem. So it's been very chaotic in terms of the organization. But Team Ghana has been training well. They have been here since Thursday.
Well, for some appreciation of what this move means for the player and exactly if it is the right move for him, one person who can give us some good analysis of that is Fifi Manfred with our sister station, Ishra FM in Kumasi. Fifi, thank you so much for joining us on Prime Sports tonight. It's a big move for Ernest Nuama. He's going to be joining a club that the maestro Abedi Pele himself played at. Michael Essien has also played there, and John Mensah have all played there. Great Ghanaian history as far as Ghanaian representation of the club is concerned. What do you make of this move? Is this the right move for the young Ghanaian? Guys, thanks so much for joining us on Prime Sports, and of course we'll do some little forecast ahead of the second week in the Bundesliga. But that's all we have for you on Prime Sports tonight with me, Razak Musbao, and do stay tuned to join us because there's more stories also on myjoyonline.com/sports. A PM Express is coming your way. Please do stay.